Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shanghai Show. It is July 4th. Happy July 4th to my fellow US citizens. If you're celebrating, please remember to celebrate safely and responsibly. But given that it's July 4th, it is also day 4 of Anime Expo. And at first, I wasn't going to post today. I wasn't sure what I would post, and I had already posted days 1 through 3 of Anime Expo. And initially, it kind of felt like there wasn't anything else I could post about in relation to Anime Expo, in relation to conventions, that I didn't already have planned for later on in the month. But then I kind of felt weird leaving day 4 out of the posting because it is still a convention. And as I said, I already uploaded 3 other videos on days 1 through 3 of Anime Expo. I am someone who tends to record, edit, upload, and publish videos ahead of time, and then I'll schedule them for Friday at 7 a.m. because then I know at least I'm posting once a week, and then that way too, once I get some videos recorded and uploaded and scheduled for that Friday and upcoming Fridays, I have a little bit of breathing space before I have to start recording another video. So I had actually recorded the videos for days 1 through 3 way in advance. That kind of started to get me thinking about, well, what can I do for day 4? Because even though I already scheduled videos for July 1st through 3rd, the first 3 days of Anime Expo, I still did videos for the first 3 days of Anime Expo, and as I said, a part of me felt weird leaving day 4 out. I can't really explain it. So I started doing a little bit of research as to what kind of post I could make in relation to Anime Expo or conventions in general. And I came upon a post that was basically talking about things you could do at your first convention. I read the post and I was like, oh, this would be a good idea. And I have linked that post down below in the description under. As with my previous Anime Expo videos, the first 3 ones, this is very Anime Expo specific because as of right now, as I've said, Anime Expo is the only convention that I personally attend, although I do have plans to attend other conventions in the future. With all that said, here are 14 things you can do at your first convention or any convention. Some of these things may be interchangeable depending on the convention you're attending, the convention location, what city you're in, what state or province you're in, and even what country you're in. Some of these can be interchangeable, First up is panels and workshops. Many conventions have a variety of panels you can attend, workshops you can attend, and usually these panels and workshops are somehow advertised on their website, on their social media platforms, and you can take a look at what panels and what workshops are being held during the course of the convention. And if the convention has a corresponding app you can download, that may also really help because you have it easy to access without necessarily waiting for a website to load, and you can just open up the app. Panels and workshops can include Q&A sections with big names in the anime industry, or with voice actors or mangakas, basically manga artists, manga authors. And workshops can include how to do cosplaying or how to do X, Y, and Z, how to do a certain type of armor. Panels and workshops, the terms can be used interchangeably. Workshops usually are more activity centered, craft centered, whereas panels are usually just talking. The second thing you can do at your first convention is cosplaying, and this is something a lot of people do. I would say it's usually about 50-50. Roughly 50% of the people are cosplaying and roughly 50 aren't, so there's absolutely no pressure to cosplay at your first convention unless you really want to. It can really enhance your first convention experience because you get to meet other people within that same fandom, you get to take pictures with them, there's cosplay gatherings you can attend, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but there's so much more you can do centered around cosplaying if you decide to cosplay at your first convention, but there's no pressure to cosplay at your first convention. So an honorary mention, which was not included in my original list, but I wanted to talk about it since I had mentioned it, and since it kind of fits here as well. An honorary mention is cosplay gatherings. Again, you do not have to cosplay to your first convention to make it better, but you can still attend cosplay gatherings and take pictures of people there, take pictures with people. Don't do it in the middle of a photo though, because that might be a little bit annoying and would be a little bit rude to the people who just want the pictures of the characters. Even if you're not cosplaying, attend cosplay gatherings. At the the anime, of the shows, of the games even that you enjoy. Attend cosplay gatherings, because this also gives you another opportunity to meet more people who are fans of the same things you are. It may also give you an opportunity to talk to them in a single space and talk to them about where they got their cosplay, or if they made it, how they made it, where they got their wigs. So it really helps you out in the long run, and it gives you new connections, new friendships, even if that friendship only lasts the duration of the convention. Moving on to the actual list, and I am going in order of the list that I originally created. The third thing you can do is meet and greets. This can include big names in the anime industry like voice actors, illustrators, producers, directors, mangakas, and so many other people within the manga and anime industry. Sometimes it's a quick little signature and then you move on because there's not really a lot of time for questions and answers. Sometimes it's a Q&A session. A lot of the times these are combined with panels and workshops. Meet and greets can also include cosplayers who have big followings, who hand make a lot of their costumes, and are invited to attend the convention as what's called a cosplay senpai, where they're basically there to talk to other cosplayers about how they did their work, how they did their cosplay, where they got it from, etc., so on and so forth. And usually you can buy photos from them too. So you can do these meet and greets where you meet people in the industry, both anime, manga, and then cosplaying as well. Fourth thing you can do is the Masquerade, whether you're just attending it to view it or participating in it. So you get to hear the cosplay aspect of conventions and of many of these shows a little bit more than maybe you would if you were just walking the floor of the convention. The fifth thing you can do at your first convention is anime screenings. In a lot of cases, especially for the bigger conventions, you have things like the new episode of a new season premiering, or sometimes they have older episodes, or if a show's getting revamped, then they'll have the screening of a couple of the revamped episodes. But most of the time there are screenings of one or two episodes from many anime. And like, even if it's an anime you've already seen and you love, you can connect with other fans of the show. The sixth thing you can do is go to the artist alley, the exhibit hall, or other names that they have for these two things. Basically the locations where they sell stuff. The exhibit hall, the vendor's hall, is usually just a hodgepodge of stuff like figurines, sometimes plushies, cosplay sometimes, wigs, keychains, and other stuff like that. So you have a bunch of vendors in that area selling what they have. That's usually anime related, but sometimes not, depending on the convention you're attending. And then the artist alley is usually where artists are selling their prints of stuff, keychains of stuff, but the artist alley is specifically artist centered. I remember attending Anime Expo when it was still small enough on the smaller side to have the exhibit hall and the artist alley in the same room, because there weren't as many vendors for either the exhibit hall or the artist alley. And then both started to grow more that they had to move the artist alley into the parking lot connected to the pit, Cantina Hall, which was a little bit weird to get used to at first, but you know, like, it works. The exhibit hall and the artist alley, the vendor's hall and the artist alley, are usually the places you can buy stuff. The seventh thing is that many times conventions hold cultural events. For Anime Expo, on the first day, before the exhibit hall opens, before the artist alley opens on the first day, they have the taiko drummers. I think taiko just means drums, if I'm not mistaken. But they have the taiko ceremony where they have the performers. So many conventions will have cultural ceremonies like that in honor of Japan. The eighth thing you can do at your first convention is go to the entertainment hall or the game hall, depending on what convention you're attending. It changes. At Anime Expo and the LA Convention Center, it's the entertainment hall, because there you can go to a little gaming section. They have tabletop games and video games, I believe, as well. They also have a Manga Lounge in the entertainment hall, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not quite sure where the Manga Lounge is. And in the entertainment hall, they also, at Anime Expo specifically, they also have little photo session booths where they have a bunch of different backgrounds that you can take pictures in. And usually in the entertainment hall as well is where the cosplay senpais are. But the entertainment hall, the game hall, is a really great place to just go and take a little bit of a breather, because usually, although there are a significant number of people there, it's not necessarily jam-packed there. The ninth thing you can do is the Manga Lounge, as I was talking about with the entertainment hall, the game hall. But you can also do the Manga Lounge, where you can just read some manga, try to get into some more. I might actually try this at Anime Expo this year to try to get into some more manga. This is what it sounds like, basically a lounge where you can read manga. As I said, for Anime Expo specifically, I think it's in the entertainment hall, if not close to the entertainment hall. But again, I'm not sure. You would have to check a map for that. The 10th thing you could do, and what I definitely recommend doing at some point, and I also mentioned this in my 10 general conventions tips video, rest areas. Many conventions have some sort of rest area. I know it's changed a couple of times over the course of the years I've been attending Anime Expo, but I'm pretty sure there's a rest area in the entertainment hall. There's also the first aid area. I don't recommend going to the first aid room unless you really need to, but take advantage of the rest areas when you need to, because your first convention can be very overwhelming. The 11th thing you can do at your first convention is concerts. Many conventions have anime-specific, comic-specific artists attending who've sung maybe the intro or outros to video games or anime. Take a look into concerts if concerts are your thing and you would want to attend some that are specific to the convention or to anime. Somewhat related, the 12th thing you can do is parties, raves. Again, these are all going to be very anime specific, comic specific, because you're attending an anime convention or a comic convention. Parties and raves aren't necessarily my thing, but I've had multiple friends who've attended and who've really enjoyed them. They are really fun if they are your thing, but personally for me, they're not my thing, so I can't comment on it too much. The 13th thing you can do is, if it offers and if you can buy the ticket to it, is the pre-show events. I've noticed that many of the bigger conventions have a pre-show event like Anime Expo does. Those usually are a bit more money on top of whatever pass you're getting. Those can also be fun. I personally haven't attended one for Anime Expo, but again, I've had friends who've attended them occasionally and said that they are fun. The 14th and final thing you can do is explore the nearby area. You don't necessarily need to do this during the weekend of the convention, but if you have an extra day to spare or you don't attend the convention one of the days and you're not a local to the area, explore the surrounding area because sometimes it's really fun. Although I kind of hate getting to downtown Los Angeles for the LA Convention Center, it is a really fun place to go to once you're there. Like, there's a movie theater near the LA Convention Center, there's a bunch of restaurants, there's a bunch of nifty spots, nifty shops, although some of the shops are kind of expensive given that it's downtown LA. But try exploring the surrounding area if you have the time to. Before I end this video, I kind of want to take a look with you all about how the next couple of weeks will go for my videos for July now that Anime Expo is done and today was the last day. This was a special case of posting every day for a period of 4 days because it was Anime Expo. In future years of attending Anime Expo, I may or may not do that, or I may post for 1 or 2 days of the convention itself, but we'll have to see once we get closer to Anime Expo in future years, starting with Anime Expo 2024. That sounds so weird. I will be going back to my normal posting schedule where I post Fridays at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Here's a schedule that will most likely stay this way, but if I need to change it up a little bit, I'll change it up a little bit. So this Friday, July 7th at 7 a.m. Pacific time will be my Get Ready With Me chats video. And then the 14th, next Friday at 7 a.m. will be my vlog for Anime Expo. The Friday after that, the 21st, again at 7 a.m. will be my commentary video for Anime Expo 2023. And then the last Friday in July, July 28th, will be my merchandise haul. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned for this month of Anime Expo videos.